So you can see the snap that we've been using today, especially on the multi-species rod. I like to use 20-pound fluorocarbon leader. That's what is in between my fingers here pinched. You can see how stiff it is. It's about 14 to 18 inches long. And then I use this VMC snap, which is very contoured. So when I say multi-species, if I was casting lures for larger pike and walleye and bass, I would probably go with the 20-pound fluorocarbon leader, because the main line is 20-pound Suffix 832 braid. But look at here, I've made a loop knot, so you can see that I can take that off the snap very easily. This is 10-pound test. So because we're doing the presentation in the Detroit River, I've got about 14 to 18 inches of 10-pound test, and there's a little bit of stretch. The fluorocarbon doesn't stretch much. And then I have my jig tied on there. So this is a really good tip, not just for using a lighter line so you have a more lifelike drop when you're using a jig, when you're snapping it on the bottom, it looks more lifelike, but also if you get hook up on the bottom and you're using a bismuth head, that's not lead, if you lose it, you only lose this 10-pound test, or sometimes it even breaks right at the jig. And here on the Detroit River, the current's very fast. So if you get hung up on bottom and your line is tied directly, like your braided line, to your jig, you can break your rod if your drag is too tight, because there's a lot of torque. You can run out of line. People will actually get spooled, and then the whole line gets off the reel because they can't hold the line. Or if you try to grab the line, you can have your hands cut from the braid. I'm sure it's happened to some of you. So using a lighter material like this, when we fish for perch, like in the spring, we'll go to six-pound test, but we still have 20-pound test up the line, the 20-pound braid, 20-pound fluorocarbon snap, and then 6-pound test. Because the fish don't care what's up above, they just care what's in front of them. And when we're fishing for perch, we're using very light jigs, and we're doing a very gentle or finesse presentation. And you want a lighter line so that your small jig and plastic grub looks more natural to the fish. So it's great to have a multi-species rod and do the different leader weights and have the same main line with the snap, that you just have to change the leader every once in a while.